know what it is. Another Wednesday. It's another episode of the Hesi podcast. It's me and a 30. Poe might show up. Who knows? But Sterling's not going to be with us today. He's not going to join us. If you've been listening, my boy just you muted 30. You muted. There you go. See my boy over here. They got 30 over here working the spaceship controls and
bro, and it's out of control. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had some technical difficulties, some freezing up, but I think we getting it back in order. So you go ahead and give him the rundown. Hi, nigga. Go ahead and give him the rundown. Let us know what we got going.
All right, so check it out. For the rundown, we got we're gonna touch a little bit on college football, like we always do. It's always on the menu, college football and NFL. Especially around this time. But we, with that, we're going to be talking a little bit. We might be touching a little bit on the Pac-12 and what they might be doing, trying to stay alive. But we're really going to be touching on pause, no Diddy. We're definitely going to talk about that shit. But there's a new number one on sitting at the top of the roost in the college football world, and we're going to talk about that. Some changes. Hey, look, it is what it is, brother. And it's well deserved. And some week 3. We're on week 3, or is it week 4 now? This shit's flying by.
Talking about college or pros?
We're talking about college. I think we're week 3. No, we're week 4.
We're in week 5. Technically week 5 because you got week 0.
No, we don't count. We don't count 0. We don't count week 0. Week 0 is week 0.
I mean, Florida State lost to Georgia Tech in week 0.
Yeah, but they lost it week 0.
And honestly, that's another reason why Poe, you didn't show up. He was on here talking about that man DJ. We need Poe to get back on this show because Poe, I got video evidence and I think it's circling around the waves. Because I get you, I get me, I get everybody. When I got the evidence, And Poe was over here talking about they could beat this team and that team, and they have done nothing but lose. But take L's. But what'd you think about Diddy, bro? I just before it is out of bounds, before we get into sports, I'm just saying that's a lot of baby oil.
Yeah, that was probably the more jarring thing that I've heard. That and the fact that I always chuckle when I hear freak off is always mentioned in either documents or like on the news, and they're running with it too. So it's like a buzzword, and I laugh. I hear it. I'm like, oh, this is fucking funny. Freak off.
That's
so
hilarious. I will say, I was gonna say this though, real quick, because I'm getting to the point where all these motherfuckers can't stay out of jail. So we need, the jail system to come together, and we need R. Kelly, we need P. Diddy, we need Pooh Shiesty, we need Tory Lanez, we need YFN Lucci, we need that nigga that talks on the YFN Lucci songs. That niggas, this is how you be great. I know he locked up too because he go everywhere with Lucci. So so we need him. Hell, even find Melly crazy ass in there to sing some hooks. You know what I'm saying? They need to put a studio in the jail.
Thug there right now.
Oh, Thug too. See, I almost forgot Thug too. You know what I'm saying?
Even though I do believe that his shit might get thrown out. I don't know why.
Hey man, and all the people out there that was saying ain't nothing, no kind of party like a Diddy party. It wasn't all. So the people was one person. He's about 6'10". He plays in the NBA. Some people argue he's the best basketball player. There better not be no big ass Bron lubed up videos out here, nigga. If Bron's dripping, baby. If John's dripping, baby, this nigga Diddy talking about take that.
Nah, man, not LeBron, bro. No.
You saw that nigga Joe Budden was out there dancing with that nigga in the yard where the big bed was at. Hey, Diddy got everybody, nigga, and we know Kevin's Hart.
I wasn't even trying to think.
That nigga Diddy open the door, take off your clothes.
and the thing is too, dog, is like what's getting annoying about this shit is people are still going with they're trying to take down the black another black. No, look, man, having thousands of bottles of baby oil.
Diddy was trying to take down
niggas. Yeah, he's trying to take down everything. Apparently. So no, man. I'm not like sitting here. It's like, look, y'all got to kind of sit down one out. Y'all this.
Bro, on top of all this, Boogie. On top of all, on top of all the lubing and the baby oiling and the frolicking and things he was doing at his mansion.
Ain't that nigga that damn ashy to have 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Oh, no, but I bet you a whole bunch of anyways. But yet think about the fact that though, man, this man had time to order a hit, maybe two, and try to blow Kid Cudi. Like he's a real supervillain. Caliber, and he came back. He had disappeared, but he came back, and he just in jail. You think he's disappointed he's in jail, or is he recruiting?
Man, look, man, like the fact that they denied his bond, I was like, yeah.
Nigga, $50 million?
Yeah, bro.
If you get a $50 million bond, it's hey man, if I'm his lawyer, I'm just gonna say you might need to say that in the commissary, cuz like you're in it now, baby. Hey, dog, you're not getting out. You're not getting out. They got you for literally everything.
Yeah, bro. Really on some
other. And then all the videos that you have of you and of us that live all of the motherfucking watching Diddy. Yeah, man. You're not getting out of jail.
Yeah, bro.
You're going under the jail. But
it was a good run, nigga.
unless you're one of his slaves, nigga. And then he was in that hole. I gotta take care of it. Yeah. Go dance on Braun.
You won what is it? Emmys, not Emmys, yeah, Emmys, right? That's what it is. You won Emmys and shit, nigga. Hey. MTV Awards, BET Awards, hey.
Movies. All of it. Everywhere he was going, he was recruiting and diddling.
Yep.
Diddling that Diddy.
For shame. But hey.
Oh shit.
They been, whatever they give you, you gotta, the judge
Diddy wasn't giving anything. He took all.
Take that.
He told us the whole time. Now that you really think about it and think about how he was prancing around and dancing in videos.
You go back and you look at it, the signs are there, bro. They said, one of the things that came to light was that they said that the lead girl or dude was a transgender in one of the videos. And I do remember the scene, where the actor or whatever.
Oh man, her sister came out and said, "Y'all gotta stop doing my sister like that." She said, "That is a woman."
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." Whatever. I heard it when I heard it them say that shit, and I heard this maybe excuse me, a couple months ago. And I was like, when I seen it, and I remember the girl they're talking about, or the person or whatever is, whatever. And I was like, yeah.
You ever heard talking about her sister legitimately? She see this. I said she was a girl, and all of internet is like, you sit on front of lies. Your sister is a dude. Your sister is a dude.
But then then I always remember the scene of the in the bathroom where the woman or dude or whatever it was, went over there, whatever it was portraying to be, went over there to use the men's urinal. No, it's not that scene was very, very out of place. But I never, I was too young. I just never put two in the good. I was like, why is one of you?
Because he was a boy, Damon. He was a boy.
And and it's just like, all right, cool. Boom.
We was all taken away by the glitz and the glamour. The nigga had on diamond crusted button downs. And was doing this.
Like I really
should have known.
I really just sit there and I'm just like, it's been there. Like he's been telling us. So boom.
Someone said all the smart people are saying they left before the party turned. It's too late. It's too late. If you're hanging out at the drug dealer's crib, you sell drugs. This is how it goes. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you came early, came late. You're in there with the drugs, you sell drugs. You was in there with the oil. You're oiling.
Yep.
He was in there with the Diddy, you're Diddying.
But yeah, but other than that, man, other than that, yeah, I really ain't got much else to say. Is that that nigga did that shit. Yeah, Diddy did that shit.
Hey, when they say nigga, when the great words of the American poet Curtis Jackson, hey man, when they say that nigga did that shit,
Guilty
probably
as fuck.
did that shit. But all right, let's get on to the sports, man. You know what I'm saying? Get these people what they want. They probably don't want none of this shit, but they just here. So we thank you for being here. While you're here, like, subscribe, leave a comment, talk some shit, do your thing, because we are real regular ass niggas talking real regular ass sports on some real regular ass nigga shit. Now.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not really gonna talk about that Pac-12 shit. Ain't really much to talk about.
I was gonna completely sweep them under the rug. I wasn't gonna let you talk. No one cares about the Pac-2, Pac-6.
Yeah.
All them guys over there that stayed, the two of you, no one cares about you. So go join a big conference, get your NIL up.
That's all you need to know. Them niggas trying to stay alive and they trying to add some teams. You know what I'm saying? Bang, boom. You know, there it is. It's been touched on and no Diddy and covered. No Diddy, double Diddy. No Diddy,
double Diddy. Ooh.
I said no double Diddy, double.
Oh,
Diddy, double.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, I stumbled over it, but, you know, I think I recovered, you know, but, you know, who knows?
Oh, shit. While we're on the topic of college football, before we talk about the real people, let's go ahead and talk about some shit that happened today, Boogie.
What's that?
The Florida Gators, we did it for Chico. The Florida Gators are on the top of the college football national championship ladder now. You know what I'm talking about? We went ahead and handled that today.
That couldn't be in real life because they stink.
They do, but I handled that on the game. You know, that's why we got the orange hat, you know what I'm saying? The blue headphones, you know what I'm saying? Go, Gators, here we go. You know what I'm saying? So as we sit here, you know, we singing "We Are the Champions." We can't wait till next year. We got to repeat. You know, I'm talking about. But I just, you know, and Sterling's not here today. But since he announced his championship the other week, I got to go ahead and say, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting on top.
All right, well, congratulations, sir, King of the Mountain, sitting in a chair, big chair. All right.
I hate you.
All right, so there's a king. Speaking of sitting in a chair, the big chair. There's a new king of the mountain in college football landscape, and that is the University of Texas in Austin. If you ever need a clarification, but UT is now the number one after Georgia, you know, stumbled and struggled against the University of Kentucky, barely escaping away 13-12. Only scoring.
How'd you feel about that?
I knew whenever they were like going field goal for field goal. And it wasn't really getting when they were shutting. This is called. They were shutting the offense down. Carson Beck. I was like, okay, we're probably going to, you know, drop down in the rankings, unless, you know, we come out here in the second half and, you know, put up like, you know, 30 points. But didn't happen. You know, we scored one touchdown, I think in the third, and it just, you know.
I think
they put it together, but they just kind of, you know, I felt like they just escaped. Yeah, they just escaped.
I mean, it was a classic. It was a classic college football escape game.
Yeah, and you know, they survived. Like, you know, that's what it was, and the way that UT went in, and well, the University of Texas, because, you know, depending on who you talk to, the real UT is blah 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 blah.
Depending on about that in a second too, because they're liars.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to, but as far as you know how University of Texas came in and handled business against UTSA. God damn, dog, why they had to do our school like that? But fuck it, they did.
And we scored though, big beat.
We did.
They should have. But they should have. But I wanted to say this though, because really the Texas game, what it was, they did what they were supposed to do, and that's I'm not trying to poo-poo on it. We will give them their credit, but I do want to stick on y'all won, Boogie. But for those, you know what I'm saying, that did watch the game or catch the end of it, I just wanted to point out the fact that at the end of the game, you know, every team's got their strength, you know, their cornerstone. For Oklahoma, you're going to look for their quarterback to save them every time. On y'all side, it's the defensive line. Yeah. And what I noticed in that game was in the fourth quarter, Kentucky had many opportunities, 3 or 4 opportunities to make something happen. But I noticed that even at one point, one of y'all's defensive line got past the offensive lineman and literally blocked a pass like a jump shot. Like he palmed it and just threw it back in the quarterback's face. And at that point, I was like, Kentucky has had so many opportunities, but the quarterback can't even see his receivers. It was like it was a masterclass on and even though they did escape, I do think something should be said for the fact that of a team that gets put their back. Y'all should have lost. By no means should they have escaped that game, but the way that they were able to hunker down and survive, and the way that the defense was able to say, you know what, the offense, because Beck looked like, well, you know, he didn't look too comfortable, and so the defense stepped up a ton. So I just wanted to give credit. To them. You know what I'm saying? It may be a diss to Texas, but it was beating an opponent that was a little bit tougher than UTSA. But it was a slip that did warrant Texas getting the number one spot, because Texas did handle their business, and they look really good. But there's another the question of Texas game is not how Texas played or anything like that. Here's the question. And I said this at the beginning, and I said this at the beginning of the season. I said this after the first game. I said, for any reason, if this man Ewers gets off the field and lets this young super motherfucker come on, his job's going to be in jeopardy. And so I'm really thinking, if you're a Texas fan, you're going to say you want Ewers to play. Just because he's a senior, he's doing the right thing. But do you really? Like, come on, y'all. Like, the only thing that stopped Arch was the fact that they took him out the game.
Yeah.
He showed he could do it. I could continue. I was gonna let you, but I can continue because he showed everything. He ran like Cooper. He passed like Peyton, and if he can joke like Eli, he's probably the best motherfucker ever.
So, like, one of the things that I always remembered about Arch was shout out to Chase Dollars. Yes, October 19th. We will convene, and we will see about that. Also, I got to give props. That Oregon game you played, Chase, you made a very impressive window pass, and I was like, this reminds me a lot of myself.
Oh, you watched him on the
I watch all y'all shits. Try to steal myself.
So you saw me.
I've seen the witchcraft, but see, y'all don't save y'all's.
Oh, we got that glitch. We got that glitch going on.
Y'all don't save y'all video, so it's like I gotta catch
the archive. The streams don't archive, and you got to fix it a certain way, and it's fixable. But Twitch, fuck you for that. I'm not fixing that, bro. Fix that shit.
Yeah, so I catch the ones whenever I can catch them, but it's like you got to catch them. But anyway,
they all watch us, Dollars. We got the dopest season on the map, bro.
But
no offense to y'all's PS5 season, I'm just saying it.
I know we're fine. I got a game. I'm about to play Sterling son tomorrow.
Oh shit, the kid's involved.
Yeah,
beat that little.
He pretty nice to it. Anywho, but like the thing with Arch was that even in Louisiana, one of my uncles who coached and played ball and at LSU or transferred to Southern and blah 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 blah. He had very very critical of Arch, especially in high school, saying that he didn't really play anybody, didn't really play any real talent, aka
black play private school ball.
Yeah. And and whenever he finally did, they got bounced out the playoffs and shit like that. But one of my arguments was this: is that he has the resources that a lot of 17 and 18-year-old high school kids don't have. And that's, in the Hall of Fame uncles that, won Super Bowls and a grandfather who has played, in the league, and his dad who was a good athlete within his time.
a really good athlete.
Yeah. But, medical, reasons and stuff like that. But he has a lot of resources that a lot of these kids don't have. And I think that, whatever deficiencies that he showed on that field, he's going to work through because he has that pedigree. And we're starting to see that now. He went to go play for Sark. And, look, man, what Texas have is a high class problem. You have, two quarterbacks that are, capable of taking you to a natty. And
it's just one of those things that I'm not gonna lie. I think that I think that this is not against Oklahoma. This is just has to do with Quinn and then watching a lot of video of Adonai Mitchell and Xavier Worthy. And when you watched it, you said Quinn Ewers is good, but if he was Arch, them dudes would have been drafted like 5 and 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? Like it's those little things. And when you watch Arch get in the game, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even it reminds me of like when Caleb got in the game. It's the same effect. When Caleb Williams got in the game at Oklahoma, it was like, yeah, this motherfucker just better than you. Like you can be as good as you can be, but this guy is gonna be better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the choice you have to sit there and make is like, do you want to? Yes, Quinn should win. Quinn should win. They should go to the playoffs and do very well in the playoffs. You know, it's a 12-team play. They should go and do very well in the playoffs. But I don't know, man. When a guy comes in the game like that and puts those type of fireworks up, yeah, Arch wasn't going to do it last year, but we're this year now.
Yeah,
you know
he had to sit and learn, and and once he got that, boom. And I think like you said, he got it this year. That's exactly where we're at with it. Arch is showing us why he's a Manning.
No, he's got the pedigree, he's got the talent. Yeah. Like it's all there. And I know it sounds like, everybody take Quinn, but it's like when a guy goes in the game and gets 5 possessions and 5 touchdowns, and he's not even truthfully he hasn't even gotten like in the game. He's literally like taking reps and he's killing the competition. I just think from what I saw, I think Texas is going to get to a point where they get in the playoff and they're playing against Georgia, or they're playing against Miami, or they're playing against a team with some speed that gets around, that flies to the ball, and they're going to be like, Quinn may have to sit this one out because Archie looks like he's got the talent to take them like over. Yeah. As an Oklahoma fan, I hope he transfers just for the hell of it, just to experience life somewhere else. Can he get drafted next year? Like, he cold as fuck, dog. Like, nah, man. Like, nah, let that nigga play this year and get that shit over with.
All right, so speaking of Oklahoma, let's go ahead and move along. Oklahoma, number 15, is at home playing the visiting Tennessee Vols. Not the wrong UT, but the other UT. They're coming in at number 6. Yeah, so
might have the most talented quarterback in the nation.
Yeah, Nico. And we had Poe here.
Sterling, where you at? Poe, where you at?
Ima Lala Mavela. I think that's.
I wasn't gonna make you do it too. I was just gonna call him Nico.
Yeah, Nico from Long Beach is usually how I refer to him. Well, whenever he was still a prospect.
He did force all the best QBs to leave Tennessee because Texas A&M benefited because that kid Reed that was out there killing for Texas A&M, he's from Memphis. And he was Tennessee Mr. Football. So Nico's that dude. As an Oklahoma fan, like watching, I expect the defense to play well. I'm more worried about getting the offense in order. The offense is just it's all over the place. I think it has a lot to do with some of the injuries that have gone on in the training camp. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that, do I think Oklahoma can win? Yes. But it's going to strictly be based on if they can disrupt the offenses like they have been doing. Nico's going to have to do a good job. Now, I am kind of worried at what's going to happen now that Oklahoma's got to play against a team that's going to have level talent, and you're missing, Jalil Farouk, hopefully I pronounced it right, and Nick Anderson. You know what I'm saying? So, and those are two receivers that would open the game up even more for Burke to do his thing. But you know what I'm saying? There's not too many Oklahoma fans out there. I'm just going to say Boomer Sooner. I expect him to get it done. It is a big, big game because it is the SEC jump off for the Oklahoma Sooners, and who have the hardest SEC schedule, if not the hardest schedule in the nation this year. So it is kind of like a jump off to that. Starts the Fuck You Tour. They gave us the hardest schedule, and so we're going to try to show the nation what we're going to do with it. So I do think they're going to win the game, though. But I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be a game that's going to be you're going to sit back and be able to say like, oh man, this is we got this. It's going to be a tough, hard fought, gritty game, and I think Oklahoma's going to have to win it again with like 2 or 3 like defensive plays that just put them over the top, which they had last week and the week before. Which, as it looks right now, it looks like they have one of those teams that win or lose in the playoff, make the playoff. Whatever, they're just going to have one of those teams that's led by their defense, which our coach wants. And that's just going to go with the flow. Like, we're going to disrupt, do everything we can on defense and offense, do what you do because we have a really good quarterback. Jackson Arnold seems to be as advertised. It's just one of those things where the Lions got to get some continuity. They got some injuries up there too. And then these running backs, bro, not to go on too much of a tangent, but damn, you played for Oklahoma. Like, Sawchuk, Gavin, stop toe dipping. Hit the motherfucking hole. It's there. It's there. Just hit that motherfucker, bro. And then if you get tackled, you get tackled. Make a move, but hit the motherfucking hole. Barnes, you're trying. Not too much there. Taylor Tatum, you look like a future star, but you don't know the plays sometimes. And you're a freshman, true freshman at that. But you were Mr. Running back out of Texas. But I just think that the offense just needs to get it together. The running backs need to play a little bit more aggressive. And as far as the offensive line, this is not Oklahoma offensive line play. Okay? You're supposed to be maulers. You're supposed to be apes, gorillas up front. And you're just not doing that right now. So they need to clean all that shit up. But I do believe the defense is a top 5 defense in the nation. But they're going to find out this weekend. We all will find out this weekend. It's going to be a slobber knocker, as they say.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Real quick hitter. We got number 12 Utah versus number 14 Oklahoma State. I'm just going to go with Oklahoma State with the upset here.
You know what? I'm going to give Utah their love and respect, bro, because Utah's got a really good football team. If you watch them play, they got speed on the outside. The offensive system they run is really quick, fast paced. They are a team that's just a good team. I wouldn't say they were a rough shot with stars, but they have players that could beat you at any position. And I believe Oklahoma State, with Ollie Gordon and everything that's going on, and they start games too late. If you watched their last game last week, it was a great game to watch. I think it was against Arkansas, but they started the game. It was like it took them till about the 4th. They ended up winning, but it's just watching them. It was like watching them play the game. It was just a hassle the entire game. And I don't think that they're going to be able to do that. Continue on for the rest of the season, but damn sure I don't think they could do it against Utah because I think Utah is going to come to the game prepared, ready to play. And Utah's first season in the Big 12, they're trying to show the nation that they can play with the big boys too. So I think that Utah wins. Not only think Utah wins, I think Utah wins by a couple touchdowns.
Right.
I think Utah's going to get up in that ass. I think
this is what's going to happen. Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy with his amazing haircut. Give it to Ollie 50 times. There we go.
He should, but recently he hasn't. But that's him.
But all right, so let's go ahead and move over to the NFL. I was hoping Sterling would be here today to relish in his victory over the.
Bro, Poe didn't come because his team got waxed.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that. The reason for that. But
yeah.
The other game that happened was Saints and the Cowboys played and Saints won. We are getting a lot of coverage, and I'm kind of nervous about all that.
But man, don't be though. Y'all played very well. Y'all system. Y'all have a Kubiak, which you said you liked having a Kubiak, and it showed his face. I don't think you should be scared about that. And by the way, I want to let the people know, and Boogie knew this. Y'all, if y'all are watching, y'all know Kamara was my running back. So the Cowboys, y'all lost, but
whenever I was watching the game and I started seeing Kamara, when Kamara went for the hat trick at the time when he went for 3, I was like, "Oh, Russ is going to be fine." I said, "Russ is going to be fine." I was like, "He's going to be like the Alonzo Mourning meme, the nigga that's going to be like." At the end, he'd just be like, all right. But he had a big day. You're right, Ghost. It did give me feelings like, pause when number 9 was was suiting up the way the offense was looking capable. Carr looked comfortable. He actually looked like he knew what was going on. We're seeing a lot of shorter routes. Us getting the ball out quicker.
Kubiak.
Really to help the offensive line as well. Because that's what I was paying attention to. And the pockets were clean. They'll roll out help to Penning's side, and he's actually been impressive this season. He hasn't really been, aside from what the plays that I was talking about last week against the Panthers, he still didn't give up any plays on it. So I mean, call it what you want, but if it's ugly, it's ugly. If it's not, it's not. And he did manhandle, pause their main player. So the offense, the defense, the defense is physical. You seen Debo,
very much so.
You seen the Debo out there making plays, but also making penalties. Just being physical, bro. I mean, it is.
But I mean, when you get penalties because of that, it's not a bad thing. And and that's and on y'all's side, it is amazing to me how everybody wonders what the magic is, or the Kubiaks, and when you watch it being played, you're like, they just do everything that players on their team can do. They're not doing Rashid Shaheed. It's like, and I believe it's part of it's on Zimmer. We could talk about the Cowboys side. We're talking about the Saints side. He's not over here saying, "Hey, Shaheed, we're gonna send you on, in routes and all." No, my nigga, you're going deep. And Carr, you want to find him deep. When it came to Chris Olave, they did a great job of not only just moving him around, but getting him mismatches in the Cowboys defense. At one time, they played Mike Zimmer for a fool because Mike Zimmer tried to come up, and it was, I think it was a third down, but the Cowboys came up in it was a zone, and it looked like it was going to be a good zone because you're going to get some pass rush. But the problem was they put Olave on a crosser, and he just went right across. He just runs right across Overshown's face, and it's like they just played you because Overshown's an athlete, but he's not out here to guard, Chris Olave. He's too fast. And then the very next play, Mike Zimmer got his head right, puts him on a tight end, and he breaks up a pass for a tight end. So I just think it was a masterclass in play calling. I think a lot of the play callers that have issues and do things that piss people off, it's because, man, you just need to do things that your players can do 100% of the time in the game. And no matter how the game goes, ugly, blowout, no matter what it is, if you call, 5 to 10, 7 to 10 stretch plays for Alvin Kamara, the defense is going to have trouble. Yeah, they may stop a couple of them, but if you keep him swinging out to that,
it was fucking toss plays. That's what
I'm saying, if you want to swing, toss, any outside, like the outside type runs to Alvin Kamara, like if you run enough of them, he's so talented that he's gonna make it happen. And if you just so happen to have a day like y'all had, which I could pivot to where the Dallas Cowboys defense, whether it's scheme, whether it's playoffs, they just showed you again, we don't want to get up in that shit. We don't want to get dirty in the trenches, and you can just run over us. And whether, like I said, whether it be the scheme, whether it be the players, I don't really give a fuck. As a fan, we know that we're going to ride this roller coaster in the season. We expect to make the playoffs, and then we expect to lose in the first or second round, depending on who we play in the first round. The sad thing about watching it, is you guys know you're not good at defense, and I'm kind of starting to think of it as some parts of me think that maybe Lawrence and Micah might be having a moment of, well, you think you're so good, well, you should help me, because it's beginning to me. Ray Lewis at one time, said, I could be the best line. I'll say I'm paraphrasing, but to the effect, Ray Lewis said something to the effect of, right before draft, I could be the best linebacker that I can be, but you guys need to get people to open up the game for me. And I think that's what the Cowboys are having trouble with now. Like, you have Micah Parsons, but you need guys up front that are going to be difficult for the defense to cover, that are going to open it up for him. Like if you have a team that's spending the whole day chipping your best player on defense, double teaming him, doing all these things to keep him out of the game, where the fuck are the other guys? Because last time I checked, if you double one person, there's another person free somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to be a genius to say that when it comes to the front seven, someone else has got to make a play, or as a coach, you got to find a way to put that guy in a position and not get put in that position. So it was just all around just bad. It was just bad by the Cowboys. It looked like they just went out there and just thought they were just going to get away with just playing the game of football. And the Saints aren't a bad team. I feel you, Boogie. You're like, don't give us too much press because you may not be world beaters. But the Saints show that they're a very good team, and the aggression in the trenches. Well, y'all bullied in the trenches.
I'll say this is Penning made that step up that he was expected to make. So shout out to him. I know I was very critical of him in the past shows, but he came. He's showing up. So but I don't think that they're the team that everybody's tagging them to be yet. We'll see over these next couple of games. We have Philly at home, then we got Atlanta, then we got the Kansas City Chiefs. So around that time, I can tell you, if we for real or not.
I'll say another thing too on the Cowboys side. And yeah, we all know Jerry Jones. He's saving money for his boat gas, but his yacht gas. But it's also on the side of, I see a lot of fans, and I'm Boogie. I'm the honest Cowboy fan. Right. And when Dak deserves it, I'll say he deserves it. But people, you got to look at the reality of the situation of what we got on offense here, man. Jerry set y'all up by saying we got some unseen talent. Yeah, the unseen talent, he tripped and fell and caused the interception. The unseen talent, Mr. Tolbert, he only had one catch that really made us open our eyes and say, oh, like the Cowboys do not have, and this is where I break it up into two different things when you're talking about getting free agents and guys that can do their job. Because people are like, well, you can't just go get another superstar. The Cowboys don't need another superstar wide receiver. They have one. They need someone that can consistently do their job in the intermediate and deep realm. Because Cooks is not washed. Cooks is very good at what he does, but Cooks is a guy, but he's a guy, but he's not the guy that you use. He's not the guy that you use to move the ball down the field. He's the guy that you use after you've done move the ball down the field. They're looking for everybody else, and then Cooks hits you with a deep route, and then boom, he gets you one of those. And you see the arrow and all that type of shit. The Cowboys are just not built to do a lot of damage, in my opinion, do a lot of damage on offense, and I don't see how we can, as fans, look and say, like, are you disappointed? Like, in the loss, yes. But as far as what you saw, I ain't no faith in these niggas. But, like you telling me, as a defensive squad coming in to play the Cowboys, make sure CeeDee Lamb don't go off or cover him as best as you can. Pretty much no big plays for CeeDee. He had one that day. You know what I'm saying? But nope. And when you do that, you can shut down that. There's no run game. So hopefully Dalvin Cook can do something. That remains to be seen. He's supposed to come back, but Zeke, we love you, but it is what it is. Rico Dowdle, we already knew. And then you got these guys on the outside receivers. The tight ends hurt. Dak loves tight ends, but holy shit, we only got one. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the offense is just a hodgepodge of guys trying to make it happen, and that's not that. The main point is that's not on them, man. That's on the guy upstairs that's trying to, create his narrative that I did all I could. I pay him the money, but he didn't, bro. The Cowboys need a receiver. They need a running back. And then we could see what they're going to do for it. And as far as Mike Zimmer is concerned, man, just do what your players are fucking good at, bro. Like, I hate this football thing that happens with coordinators and offense and defense where they do too much. Like, you're supposed to start the best I've ever seen. You start in the base. You know what I'm saying? You start with what just base. It's what we do. And then you expand on that as the game tells you what it's going to be. And it seems like, a lot of these coaches we have now are just trying to do a bunch of extra shit and then they're wondering what the fuck's going on. So I would just say, Mike Zimmer just, move Micah around, let him blitz, and then expand on that once you see where that's going. DeMarcus Lawrence and the D-line open up some holes for the motherfucker to get to the quarterback.
Gotta agree.
And running back.
I gotta agree because before we move on, that was one of the things I kept seeing was Mike and Lawrence being rotated in and out. Um, they was wearing them down. But all in all, like I'm gonna tell you right now, the Cowboys are gonna go ahead. They're gonna get back to business. You know, I
The
wouldn't want.
Ravens game is interesting. I'll ask you a question, Boogie. That was I saw on TV today. It's who is the game the most must win for? Because you got the Ravens and the Cowboys are actually two depictions of two teams that make you say like, what the fuck? Because they're two teams that just the Ravens have the talent, they just don't know what the fuck to do with it, and the
Mm,
Cowboys, don't have the talent, but they want to do something with it. So it's like watching yin and yang, but both yin and yang
so
are fucking up.
I,
So who
I
needs it more?
I think it's obvious if you look at the records, you're going to say that Baltimore needs to win more because they don't have one. But um, you can always make an argument for Dallas. Um, having to show the rest of the NFL is like okay, well we are the team that you see in week one, playing week one. We are that same caliber team. We got caught. And this is the NFL, man. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, you get caught with your pants down. Pause, no diddy, and shit just happens. And it
It happened to a lot of teams. We didn't go through
yeah,
all the upsets, but a couple teams got
yeah,
upset this week. So
yeah, it's not like
Philadelphia lost to
yeah,
Atlanta. We had the Vikings. The Vikings went out there and beat the 49ers. So
yeah. So this is not like something that's that doesn't happen to or certain teams are immune from. Um, and that's why whenever you do see it, happen, that's why you got to appreciate it, man. The good teams, they really win. And the Cowboys are, up until last week, they won what 16 at home straight.
yeah,
So that's one thing that you people got to understand is that man, this is still a good team, and despite that, they came up short. They're still
and
going
the,
to be.
and the first 4 weeks of the season, you know what I'm saying? Those weeks are kind of like, yes, good teams win, but bad. Not I wouldn't say bad team. You can't tell it. Like the first 4 weeks of the season, you got NFL. The season's first started. Everybody's fresh. Everybody's ready to go.
Mhm.
Some teams get upsets, and then it kind of settles in. So I'm by no means, like I said, the Cowboys are gonna cowboy. They're
Yeah,
gonna do what they do within the regular season. They're more than likely gonna make the playoffs. They get to play the Giants twice. They get to play the Redskins twice. You know what I'm saying? And shit, they get it for the record's sake. We beat the Eagles when it matters, so they get to
yeah,
play the Eagles twice. So it's one of those things that you know what I'm saying, like they can work through. Shout out to Ghost. Yeah, Darnold did get some weapons, did make it happen. I think that's just a product of
yeah.
Darnold just had him one. A garbage can gets a steak. That's all I'll say. We won't know till it carries on. But Justin Jefferson, hey, he could turn a 6 to a 10 quick. That's
True
all I'm gonna
indeed.
say.
True indeed. All right, so let's move on. Talk about our next topic. I think we got roughly about 15 minutes before we got to close it up. So the Buffalo Bills bested the Miami Dolphins. If you watched the game, you know what happened.
Pole running.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Tua
say it. Pole
Tua,
running.
Tua ended up catching a concussion and was knocked out of the game. But prior to that, they were getting handled.
Brother,
Yeah.
brother, you okay? I need Poe to be honest. I can't talk about shit.
So all I want to say is this: shout out to Sterling. I went ahead, man. I knew that you was going to pick him, and look, boom, boom,
Hey, that nigga,
So
they knocked that. Man, I'm not gonna say it. To the best up to Tua.
yeah, like so.
Hey, you ever seen this song about Mary?
Oh yeah,
Hey, they almost knocked that nigga into Beans and Frank's territory.
beans and Frank and beans, Frank and beans. Uh,
To a player or not to player, nigga, sit down.
yeah.
Like,
So that was pretty much my next question. Would be, do you think he needs to retire? And after it happened, the media and the sports world weighed in, and a lot of people were saying that he does need to hang it up, and some people sharing their experiences. Tua came out and said that he's not going to retire. He's going to indeed keep playing.
What do you know? What do you know?
Now, I'm gonna say this, and as a person who has had 2 concussions while playing football, and I had 2 level A, which is the lowest, and I've had that within, I want to say, within 5 weeks. So, yeah, which is not a good thing, from what I was told. And I was also told, excuse me, and I was also told that if I got another one, then I would have to quit football. That was like, so from that point on, I was like, okay, well, let me just learn, excuse me, how to tackle properly and, blah, 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 blah. So get some form and shit like that. But anyway, but just knowing that and seeing, what he got hit and how he got hit, those weren't level A's, bro. Like those were, some you gonna be forgetting shit, territory.
No, bro. One thing that and shout out to the new show on Fox, The Facility. Shout out to them, Acho, Shady, Chase Daniels, and James Jones. I believe, right? Is James Jones the receiver for the Packers?
Yes,
James Jones. Shout out to them. So I like watching them. Like one thing stood out because, of course, they played and everything like that. I give respect to the players. You know what I'm saying? I still want to talk my shit, but I give respect to the players. There's room for both. When they were talking about the fact that when you watched it, Hamlin, kind of cradled him.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, it's football, so it's all contact. But Hamlin did not try to, make the contact worse.
Yes,
he did not do anything. He literally Tua led for, which a smart thing was said was part of this. When you really look at it, is on Tua himself too. Like at some point, bro, you got to stop going forward. With your head, you've got to start avoiding. And they made various points of, you see how what's his name? Like Pat Mahomes finds a way to get out of bounds. Seemingly all the time, he finds a way to get out of bounds and not get touched. Lamar Jackson is a great point because he runs a lot, but he finds a way to, even if he's diving, he's not diving forward into the defense. He'll dive laterally. He'll slide. He'll dive. He finds a way to. This man goes forward into people. And you're not Earl Campbell, bro. Like you're not, and you need to stop. And that's the main, and that's not something that you can stop. It's ingrained in his head that he is to fight for extra yards and do all this extra shit, and he's not going to stop. And that's the reason why I say, you have no place to say, but he got to retire because he's not going to stop until someone makes his body stop. And they've already done that multiple times. So he's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? So someone's got to tell him, hey, bro, if you were my kid, if you were my brother, if you were someone I cared about, which he is to those people, but if you're a family member, I would not let you go out there. You are literally at this point, if Tua was to be making scrambled eggs in his house and slip and fall in his kitchen and bump his head on a cabinet, he probably gonna have a concussion. Because we've seen through all of the studies, all of the all the fucking videos and movies and everything and science, that once your brain gets boggled, it's my term for concussion. Once your brain gets boggled, it don't stop boggling. In fact, it gets easier to boggle. It gets easier to shake up. And we see proof of this. The guy, it wasn't even, if you go watch the play, it wasn't a true to life physical football play. Sorry, I got crooked. It wasn't a true to life physical football play. It was a guy finishing up a run. And yes, we say, you try to finish your run hard, but bro, you are. You know what you've been through. You need to find a way to slide. And you've been through different types of MMA. You've been through practicing. You've done everything that a human can do to condition himself not to have concussions. And the first thing that you did when you saw contact coming is met it head on. Yeah. So that's a mentality thing, and you can't change that.
Yeah, and another thing is that, going head on is not a suggested, yeah, like especially if you have a history of concussion. Now that's something that I wouldn't, and I know I'm just a guy, but that's just something I would never advise somebody to do. Every time, both of my concussions came from that same action, me going head in, pause, no did it, whatever. Me,
Don't
going,
forget the baby oil.
yeah, excuse me, me taking that action and pause, no did it.
You taking that action? Oh my god! No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I paused, no did it. But by me doing that, and it didn't help the situation wherever I could have just chest up and did form tackling where what I was taught to, instead of just trying to do some extra climatic
You're trying to get physical.
yeah, and
Get
trying
angry.
As they say, lower
Lower than the next man.
lay an extra hurt on them and stuff like that. But yeah, and the thing with the concussions is this, man, is that even though that you might initially be fine, is still that that road down the road, shit might get a little fuzzy, and now it's like I even feel like I'm not as sharp at certain things as I once was, and I feel kind of a little different about certain things. So and I always wonder, is that it? Because you
It
never
probably
really know.
is, but see how you're living a normal life. Tua fucked up.
Yeah,
Like
and
we're looking at the people talk and all types of that. He's fucked up.
yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and you don't want to tune in to him, and 10 years down the road, and this man is a shell of himself, and you don't want to you don't want to see that. I don't think nobody wants to see that. He's a young guy, so you trying to tell me when he hits 30 he's gonna be you know not living the fullest life that a 30-year-old should be living, or what have you. So yeah, and I do think about that, and that's why I lean in, like, man, brother, even if you call it quits, you'll have your money, you'll be financially stable. You lived, you played you played a good career, man. You won national championships at the collegiate level.
Top pick.
You were the top pick. It's just that medically, man, you just didn't get dealt a good hand, and and look, man, just get out.
I'll say this
Get
too.
out while you up.
I'll say this too. Like, I know football players, you got your gladiator mentality and all that type shit. But at some point, bro, you gotta look in the mirror and you gotta realize, like, I can't keep doing this. This is something that's not. There's not an inroad that leads to him playing football and this getting better. You know what I'm saying? And so I think at a certain point, he's got to look at that. But I will also say this. Everything that we say here is an opinion on what we think someone should do, but it is all his choice. And I have been on the forefront of saying this, and I will never back down from this. I'm not a person that's like believes in like just craziness and well, I do. So, all right, fuck that. So I am a person that believes in craziness, but I believe that you sign up for what you sign up for. So all that other shit I was gonna say that was gonna be all soft and shit, we're gonna leave that shit out the window. I'm not saying this in a way to be degrading towards them, but all these men make a decision of what they're going to play. And over the past 10 years, more than that, I'm going to say, yes, it's about the year 2012. Football has tried to soften itself up. And all of us come from an age where football was a sport that was played by the last remaining gladiators on this earth. As far as team sports are concerned, because you got boxing and things like that. But as far as team sports are concerned, this is the last gladiator sport. They know what they're signing up for. They know what can happen to them. And at some point, it's not our job to protect, but it's our job to inform. And I know that sounds like I'm like just crazy by nature, but really take it into account. If a man says I want to make as much money as I want to make, and if I'm brain dead at the end, I don't give a fuck. That's his right to make that choice. As much as people don't like it, as much as people say we should stop it, if you have one way that you have to make all the money you can or make the best living you can, you have the right to do it. So on one hand, I do say, yeah, you need to stop. But on the other hand, I do say this. You are one of the last true gladiators and you signed your contract and you have the will to do whatever you want. So I'm not going to sit there and say football players shouldn't go out there and play football. But I say us as fans and them know what you chose to do. If you signed up for it, then you signed up for it. You're going to deal with the consequences. And as fans and media and everybody else, we got to deal with the consequences. So Tua chooses to stop playing. You know what I'm saying? All the glory. We got to tell him, with the good things he did, give him all that. If he chooses to keep playing, and he gets knocked the fuck out again, he chose that. So we got to stop with this whole trying to find ways to make football safe. This is my bigger point. Football is not safe. Football is made for rough, ferocious individuals that have a lot to get off their chest in about 30 seconds of playtime, maybe less. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that way. It's not a safe sport. Timmy don't need to play it. Johnny don't need to play it. Go play fucking basketball, baseball, soccer. Go play something else. Football is there for. Go watch clips of Ryan Clark. I said this, and I'll end it with this boogie and let you close out the show. I said this. There's a video of Ryan Clark murdering people on the football field, just going crazy. And I said, the fact that they got that out of football is what's wrong with football today. Football used to be a sport that was regulated by the people that played it, because the people that played it were fucking nutcases. And you did not just to get to go out there and play because you were 6'2", 6'3", could run and could catch. It didn't matter if you could catch. I'm gonna hit you, and I'm gonna hit you hard. And the ball's gonna. And it's a mentality. And I think the NFL did itself a disservice, because they NFL all the way down to Pee Wee, all them niggas, they said, okay, we're gonna make football softer. Football is not soft. You keep putting these soft niggas in football and they keep breaking, because it is a game about going as hard as you can against the other opponent physically for 60 minutes. And guess what, people? If your mental is not there, that you're going to play through broken arms, broken legs, broken faces, broken brains, you cannot make it. So I'll say, give these players their just due. They want to play the game. Let them sign up and play the goddamn game. And if you want to watch that motherfucker. But it's football. It ain't tennis. It ain't croquet. It ain't fucking swimming. It's football. Niggas hit niggas hard, and it hurts. Right, don't watch if you don't like that shit.
So yeah, shout out to Ghost for that. Shout out to Shevchenko for getting the belt back. All is right in the MMA world. We got to close it out here. We got to go, but we're going to catch you next week. Same time, same place on the internet. Nigga.
Go Gators. Here we go.
Peace, nigga.